What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. A big thank you for coming back and joining me on another episode of the Arsenal Save. So, if you've been with us for the past couple of episodes, you'd have seen that we went through Season 2 and we finished Season 2 on a real high note. We won a domestic double. We won the Premier League and the FA Cup at the second time of asking. In the last episode, we went through the summer transfer window. We brought in some really big names. We brought in Endrick and Yusufa Makoko. We also brought in a few other players like Nico Schlotterbeck. Joe Bellingham came into the club, and we are starting to build a team and a squad that is going to challenge on all fronts. Well, today we've pushed forward to the 2nd of January, as I promised in the last episode. We are going to do this. We're going to look at the schedule today. We're going to show you some goals, look at the games we've been playing. We're going to show you how we're performing in the league. We're going to break all that down. And then in the next episode, we're going to go live with a match for the first time. We're going to be playing against Manchester City in a big game where it's either going to go one or two ways. We're either going to play really well and win the game, or we're going to get blown away by Erling Haaland and Man City. But that is something to look forward to in the next episode. Today, we're going to show you how we have got to the 2nd of January. So let's jump on in to the schedule and the competitions tab and break that down for you. Okay, so at the end of the last episode, we had showed you that we had already kicked off the Premier League season, and this is how it had gone. So we had a 3-1 win against Fulham, a 3-0 victory against Brentford, and a 3-2 victory against Southampton. We had 9 points from the first 9 in the Premier League. However, we had lost that game to Liverpool in the Community Shield. So we're going to continue on and show you how we have got to the 2nd of January. If we work the calendar, you can see that we played against Tottenham. We won 2-0 in the Premier League. We had a really good game to start this one off. A 2-0 victory, played really well. 27 shots, 12 of which were on target. And we had some fantastic passages of football. I mean, here, Dybala capitalising on Eric Dyer's mistake. It's played across and Tezgal is there to smash home another goal. He's proving to be a real top class addition for a young kid who was pretty much unheard of at the start of the game. Bukayo Saka doubling up the advantage. Ben Davies letting the ball drop in the box, and as soon as he did that, Saka was onto it in a flash to smash it home. So after we beat Tottenham so convincingly, and we thought that we were on a really good run, we've played 4 games, we've won 4 in the Premier League, all of a sudden we managed to lose to Bayern Munich in a game that we weren't very good. They won 3-1. Jamal Musiala, Dao Upamecano and Joshua Kimmich getting the goals there. Dominic Soboslai scoring for ourselves, but it was nothing more than a consolation goal right at the end. We played Newcastle in the Premier League next, and we suffered a bit of a Champions League hangover, a 0-0 draw. Not the best game. Couldn't get the ball over the line no matter how hard we tried. Then we played in the Carabao Cup 3rd round. We changed the team around completely. Played Joe Bellingham, played Endrick and played Dig Beraku. They all scored and repaid the faith. Czech Decore actually gave Crystal Palace the lead after 9 minutes, but we managed to go on and get into the next round. We then played Liverpool in the Premier League, and another game where we were fantastic. Joe Bellingham, Gabriel Jesus and Martin Odegaard getting the goals. Heung-min Son did score for Liverpool to equalise briefly, but we were fantastic in both the first and second halves. I mean, Joe Bellingham actually won Goal of the Month for September for that goal. So looking at that portion of the calendar then, in September, only lost 1 game, we won 3 and we drew 1, so not a bad way to move through September. Going into October, and a Champions League victory after we were humbled by Bayern Munich, we absolutely thrashed Red Bull Leipzig. Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus and Matthias Cunha getting the goals in this game, and we battered them from start to finish. Unfortunately though, that battering then turned around and we played against Manchester City in the Premier League, and we suffered a 3-2 defeat. Erling Haaland scoring a penalty and a goal from open play. Kevin De Bruyne got them the 3 points after Makoko and Dybala pulled us back twice. De Bruyne getting a goal that kind of deflected into his path and he bent it past Ramsdale to give them 3 points. The next game was Everton and we won that one 3-1. William Saliba and Dominic Szoboszlai dominating Everton in this game. Facundo Torres did score for them, but we were we were good value for our 3 points in that game. Then back in Champions League action and we won 1-0 against Ajax. Martin Odegaard getting that goal. Kieran Tierney stupidly getting himself sent off. Not very impressive. But 3 points nonetheless in the Champions League in this new format of the group stage before the knockout phase. I don't understand it, but it's a good 3 points as we look to progress into the next stage. So West Ham were up next. We beat them 2-0 in the London Stadium. Gabriel Jesus and Martin Odegaard getting the goals there. And then we beat Manchester United 3-1 in the Carabao Cup 4th round. Gabriel Jesus and Bukayo Saka getting the goals. Casemiro for United and Manuel Lazari was sent off after 41 minutes. So that put us into October. We were in a good run of form again. We'd lost 1 game in the calendar month. We had won 4 out. In fact, we won 5 out of the 6 games, and we were on a 4-game winning streak as we moved into November. Which we kicked off with a 2-0 victory against Leicester. Goals from Gabriel Jesus and Paulo Dybala giving us 3 points as we look to continue our march in the Premier League. We then continue to win in the Champions League. We went to Austria, played against Red Bull Salzburg, and we beat them 2-1 in the Stadion Salzburg. Jude Bellingham getting our 2 goals, 35 and 64 minutes, and Sekou Koita scoring after 94 for them. We then, back in Premier League action, won 3-0 against Brighton. Goals from Szoboszlai and Odegaard with a goal from Robert Sanchez sandwiched in between. Crystal Palace, we drew 1-1 after beating them quite convincingly in the Carabao Cup. Our first team couldn't get 3 points against them in the league. 1-1 draw there. And then we drew 2-2 with Sassuolo in the Champions League. Goals from Kanga and Ferrari for Sassuolo. Saka and Gabriel Jesus for us. And then we played against Sheffield United to round out November. A 3-0 victory from Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka. Sheffield United were poor. We were very, very good. So that moves us then into December, and we played against Manchester United in the Premier League, getting a 1-1 draw. Rafa Varane scoring early-ish on 21 minutes. Dominic Szoboszlai getting the equaliser for us. We then played against Notts Forest in the Premier League, where we won 1-0 with a goal from Youssoufa Moukoko. Played Porto in Portugal, and unfortunately fell to a 2-1 defeat. Wilmer Barrios and Matthias Zaracho scoring for them. Youssoufa Moukoko scoring for ourselves. We then played against Chelsea in the Premier League, and we won that game 2-0. Let's try and show you some of the goals from that game. So yes, 2-0 victory. Youssoufa Moukoko and Bukayo Saka getting the goals there. Let's load it up and show you the action. So White with the ball, plays it forwards to Bellingham, who plays it to Szoboszlai. He cuts it across, and Moukoko with a calm finish to tap it into the empty net. And then a throw in from Kieran Tierney to Youssoufa Moukoko. Passes it back to Tierney, across to the back post. And for a smallish player, Bukayo Saka is really good in the air. He gets on the end of the ball, heads it home to get us 3 more points as we beat Chelsea. We then played West Ham in the Carabao Cup quarter-final, and we won 4-0. Youssoufa Moukoko with the 2 goals, Matheus Cunha with a goal, and Bukayo Saka to get us through into the semi-finals. Beat Wolves 4-1 in the Premier League on the 21st of December. Dybala, Youssoufa Moukoko and Tomiyasu with the goals. Fabio Vieira, who, funnily enough, is another one of the players that we sold, scoring against us. We beat Leeds 2-1 in the Premier League up at Ellen Road. Goals from Jesus and Dybala. Pedro for them. And then to round December out, we got a 1-1 draw against Aston Villa. Gabriel Jesus scoring for us. Tim Irogbunam. Can't say I've ever heard him. Can't say I can pronounce that surname either. And then the last game before we came back was a 3-1 disappointing defeat against Everton. Now, obviously, Bramley Moore Dock Stadium, it's not a nice place for us to go. Obviously, we lost 3-1. Goals from Reece Nelson, another one of our former players who have come back to haunt us, and Dwight McNeil. Matthias Cunha did score the goals, or goal, should I say, for ourselves. So, let's have a look at the competitions tab then and see where that leaves us. So, Premier League, we have now played 20 games. We have 46 points and we are sat second in the table. In the Champions League, we have played 6 games. We have 10 points. And in terms of the FA Cup, we've been drawn against Accrington Stanley. That is on the 11th of January. We're playing the Carabao Cup against Manchester City in what is a Manchester City month, basically. We'll show you that in just a second. We'd already lost the Community Shield. What I mean by Manchester City month is the fact that we play them 3 times in 10 days, including the next episode where we will play against them, and then we've got them in the Carabao Cup semi-final. We've got Accrington in the FA Cup, and then Manchester City again, so we can't get away from them. Breaking down the Premier League a little bit then, you can see that in terms of our win-loss record, played 20, won 14, drew 4, 2 losses, 26 goal difference and 46 points. Show you how the goal difference has come about in stages. So, you can see we have scored 42, which is pretty impressive, but we have conceded 16. In fact, we have the second lowest conceding amount in the Premier League, only behind Liverpool. We are ahead. Aston Villa on 17. Even Manchester City have conceded 21. So, in terms of our defence, as I said in the past episode, we are solid. It's just getting that attacking rhythm going. And I think, hopefully, once we get back into games, I mean, we're going to see what happens against Manchester City in the next episode. But once we start to get in that rhythm of scoring goals, I think we have got a good squad. Looking at the rest of the Premier League then, so at this point, Erling Haaland already has 25 goals. He also is top of the average ratings. Christian Eriksen is up there on 7 assists. Player of the match goes to Erling Haaland. Clean sheets at the moment is Alisson, and Ramsdale has 9. Tyler Adams has most yellow cards. Kieran Trippier covers the most distance. Iwobi the most tackles per 90 minutes. And Gallan at 7.64 in dribbles per 90 minutes. So, impressive stuff from the Premier League. When we break it down, we're 4 points behind Liverpool. We are 2 points ahead of Manchester City, but that could change in the next episode. We've got a nice gap of 9 points to Chelsea and Aston Villa. And once again, teams like Tottenham are struggling. I mean, the bottom teams, Everton, who we lost to 3-1, is just bizarre. Leicester, Brighton, Man United are down there in 13th, so they're not going to be troubling the top 4. So I think if we can just keep continuing on the trajectory we are, we will be in the top 4 somewhere. It's just how can we get on in terms of defending the Premier League title. Right then, if you want to find out the answer to that, you're going to have to watch the next episode, because we're going to play against Manchester City. If we can beat them and go a step closer to Liverpool, it'll be great for the save. If we lose to them and they jump above us in the table, then obviously we have work to do. There is the transfer window open now. We haven't made any signings as of yet. Don't know if we're going to or not. There is not many holes in the squad. We should play good football with what we've got. But obviously, if there's value in the market, we will go out and try and sign a player. So that will be the episode after the Manchester City episode. And then we will have the run-in to the end of Season 3 to show you whether we can retain our title and add any other silverware to it. Right then, for this one, I'm going to start to wrap it up there. If you're still at this point of the video and you're still listening to me, firstly, well done. Secondly, if you haven't hit the like and subscribe button, please consider doing so. It helps the channel so much, helps these videos get out to so many more people, and it helps me, which is what I really appreciate. So, before you go, don't forget to check out the rest of the channel. There are tactics, Wonder Kids, tips, tutorials, all kinds of other content on the channel. Don't forget to leave a like on those videos too. But for this one, I'm going to wrap it there. Come back and join me in the next episode We play against Manchester City.